Hey, what's going on, guys? And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day being quarantined, live streaming shows and movies and stuff like that. Thank you for coming over to this dinosaur called YouTube and checking out videos from a dinosaur called Torpedoes and Tarantulas. I'm happy to bring you a video after a few days. Really haven't had a whole lot of developments going on, and then with the this crazy virus stuff slowing everybody down, I've had some time to just kick back and think, and I figured or actually decided that I've got a couple of teas that I need to rehouse, and what better time than now to do it? So that's what we're going to do today. You can see the enclosure's already made. The current enclosure is right next to it, so we are going to rehouse a tarantula. Go grab a snack, a cold drink, huddle up with your honey on the couch. Get ready, guys, because we're going to rehouse a tarantula. So before I get started, I just wanted to say that I hope everybody that out there that is watching is safe and healthy, and that you've got everything you need right now with this craziness going on in the world with this silly coronavirus. It's got us all slowed down, but honestly, I think there's a lesson to be learned for everyone out of this, because when we come through the other side, which we will, we're going to learn a whole lot more about ourselves. And I think one of those things is going to be teaching us how to get back to treating each other as equals, as human beings, helping each other out in a time of need, things like that. But we're not going to dwell on the sad crap anymore right now. We're going to get around to the rehouse. So here we have the new enclosure, the former enclosure, which I'm going to get that eyesore out of the picture, and we'll just kind of go over the new enclosure. This is a theme many of you will know that I have been sticking with over the past 4 or 5 terrestrial rehouses, which you can see this is a terrestrial setup. Pretty simple, just some substrate, the cool skull, some fake fall foliage, some real leaf litter, and a water dish. I didn't really put any moss in here, running kind of low on it, and a lot of the times it's just not as useful as I thought it would be. But there is the new enclosure. So now for the big reveal on the subject of this rehouse, and for those of you who watched my molt video the other day, this is the tarantula that molted for us the other day that I was trying to sex. Very gorgeous species, and one of my favorites, first favorites, of course. Don't know how many of you will recognize this, but this is the Dolichothele diamantinensis, which is the Brazilian blue dwarf beauty. Uh, she is a suspect female. I say she because I clearly see a furrow or a slit in the molt myself, and I texted several tarantula friends of mine, and they all said female, and then I got 3 responses on that video, right? Because I've got like so many subscribers and viewers. I got 3 responses. One of them said, not sure, kind of shaky, like most of my videos have been here lately. I apologize. And the other 2 said, yeah, it's female. So we've got a girl on our hands, guys, and a beautiful one at that. Anyone who cares to drop a line in the comments, please give me some name suggestions. You know, I don't name my tarantulas unless I know the gender. So now that I'm 99% sure that this is a female, I need some name suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready, and we're going to transfer this pretty girl in this video, because I know you guys want to get back to your live streaming, your shows and movies. Hang tight. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my transfer bottle, or whatever you want to call it, crystal clear bottle, and I'm going to transfer her into it. Then we'll just transfer her over into her new home. One of the advantages I think that I'm going to have is, as I mentioned, she did recently molt. It's been 3 days ago now, so she's recovered enough to the point that she can move around, but not so much that she will be bolty. And don't hold me to this and set it in stone, as this is what goes on with the Dolichothelys diamantinensis, but this one has been known to be bolty a time or two. Like when I was just watering it, a couple of times it ran out of its enclosure. One time it ran out of the enclosure, off the counter, and onto the bathroom floor and into the hallway. But she's calmed down a bit since then, and I think as she gets older, she'll calm down some more. Not saying, like I said, that all Dolichothelys diamantinensis are bolty or whatever. So, don't, like I said, set that in stone. But I think that she's kind of recovered enough at this point that she can move around, but she won't be prone to bolt. And she is kind of slow, as I would expect. And she goes in nice and easy for us. I did forget to put the cap on this thing. Actually, I took the cap off. And unfortunately, she wants to crawl up into the neck of the bottle there. I will try to push her back out just a little bit so we can get a look at her before we put her in her new house. Apologize for any reflections or glares or anything out of shot, because as you know, I'm working by myself. So, but there is, come on, sucker, zoom. There she is, guys. There, let me get my thumb out of the way. My recently molted suspect female Dolichothelys diamantinensis. I really love this tarantula because I love, first of all, I love multicolors, but green and blue are some of my favorites. So the combination of that, along with the oranges and pinks in this tarantula, really set it off. And they kind of remind me of a bejeweled GBB, which GBB will always be particularly close to my heart because my first one was a GBB. And they are a gorgeous tarantula. This is just kind of a dwarf modified version, if you will, of a GBB. I wouldn't say that either one of these is my favorite over the other one because they are really gorgeous tarantula. But what I'm going to do now is set this bottle down and change my camera angle because, again, remember, I am working by myself here. So bear with me on that, and then we will just tickle her down into her new enclosure, which, as I said, since she recently molted, shouldn't be too much of a problem. She's just not real bolty. Thank goodness. That was nice and smooth. I am going to pause, rearrange the enclosure, and we're going to get one more look at her. Then we're going to finish this video. Alright, and so here is the best view that I can give you of her. I rearranged the enclosure, the camera, the light, and everything to really just kind of reflect and catch the true beauty of this tarantula. There also is a common name, I don't know what it is, that's got rainbow in it, but the typical common name for this one, as I said, is the Brazilian Blue Dwarf Beauty or Blue Dwarf Diamond or something. It doesn't really matter. It's a gorgeous tarantula, and I'm super stoked to know that it is highly more than likely that this is a female. So really excited about that. But I mean, guys, just come on, just check out those colors and the sheen and everything, just the absolute beauty of this tarantula. I'm super stoked to own one. I've had this one for probably a year and a half, 2 years now. This was the first dwarf tarantula that I ever got, and in my opinion, one of the most beautiful. I can't really give a whole lot of husbandry stuff just yet, but I keep them like I do most all of my other tarantulas. When they get, from this size up, or even a little smaller than this up, you feed them once a week. Most of my tarantulas, I do not do particularly special, like moisture care for them, whether they're moisture dependent or they're a desert species. There's a few that I do, but most of them I just kind of keep them the same. I mist or spray once a week, feed once a week, usually on the same day, or one day and one the next. And this one's been doing pretty well, growing really nicely. One thing that I will say, and I'll show you, I'll move her out of the way for just a second, and I will show you her old enclosure. You can go back and watch that video, and it probably looked a lot like the one that she's in now, but this is what she did to it. So they are a prolific Weber. I don't know what all kind of stuff I decorated this thing with, so it'll be interesting to break that big old wad of webbing apart and see what's in there. Probably a molt or two. But she didn't spend there's a cork bark hide right here. Uh, but she didn't spend a whole lot of time under that when I first put her in, and then she started webbing. And then she pretty much just webbed all of this up and stayed out here in the open all the time, and then just webbed more and more as she went along. As I mentioned, they're a dwarf species, so they don't get really big. This one has bolted a couple of times, but I'm starting to get used to that. So the first time, like I said, she got out, got on the floor, and I was able to cup her. The second time, she only came out on the table, and I got her back in the enclosure. So it'll be really interesting to see what she does with this one. I'm super excited that she molted, and that I'm now certain, or almost certain, that it's female. Again, give me some suggestions for girl names, guys. I know a lot of times I do videos and I say I need suggestions, and I know way more of you people watch these videos than comment. So just throw something out there, and I'll mull it over. I hope that you did enjoy this video, though, and maybe learned a little bit about this particular genus and species of tarantula. I gave you all the information that I kind of could about them, although it's not a whole lot. But guys, I just hope right now, with everything that's going on, everybody just, I say it at the end of every video, but I really mean it right now at this time. Take care of yourselves and each other, and give me some likes, some comments, some shares, some subscriptions, or don't. It doesn't matter either way to me right now, because that's not what's important, guys. It's important that we realize that we are all people, and that we need to treat each other as such. And also, guys, let's have respect for all of God's beautiful creatures. Large, small, 8-legged, 4-legged, 6-legged, no legs. We are all part of Mother Earth. So don't forget that, guys. I'm going to end this video. Might do another video, because I'm trying to kill boredom with the whole coronavirus thing. I don't know. But just be ready to watch something else later on. Hey, that's all I got, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Peace out. God bless.